You think the rules stop at your own property line? Not when a pearl-clutching HOA president decides your backyard workshop is a personal insult to her perfect little kingdom. One sunny Tuesday morning, I found a hot pink envelope taped to my front door like a ransom note. Screaming immediate action required in blood-red marker. Signed by Lydia Kensington, president of the Harmony Grove HOA. I'm Riley Quinn. 42. Freelance IT consultant. I bought this slice of land 11 years ago. Built my compact workshop with my own hands so I could take client calls and store equipment without turning my house into a server farm. It sits entirely on my property, 50 feet from their subdivision. But Lydia didn't care about property lines. She cared about control. I stepped onto the porch as she marched up my driveway in her beige cardigan. Pearls gleaming like tiny trophies. Clipboard clutched like a weapon of mass righteousness. Her smile was so tight it could cut glass. "Miss Quinn," she began. Voice dripping artificial honey. "We've sent 3 notices. That structure violates our architectural standards. It's visible from the community entrance and disrupts aesthetic continuity." I raised an eyebrow. Cute. Except I'm not in Harmony Grove. My deed stops a good 100 feet before your fancy gates. You've got zero authority here. Her jaw twitched. The workshop is an eyesore. It lowers property values. You owe a $300 fine for noncompliance. Sign here. I laughed, actually laughed. Lady. The only thing lowering values is whatever Kool-Aid your board is drinking. Not happening. She narrowed her eyes. Refusing to comply? Then we'll involve the authorities. 10 minutes later a sheriff's deputy rolled up. Lydia practically sprinted to him, waving her clipboard like a battle flag. "Officer. This resident is in violation and refusing to acknowledge the fine." Deputy Morales, guy I'd actually helped rewire his mother's garage last summer, looked from her to me. Then at the clearly marked property stakes. "Ma'am. Unless her land falls under your HOA. You can't fine her. This is private property." Lydia's voice rose an octave. "But it's visible. It affects our community." Morales didn't blink. "Then maybe plant taller hedges." "Miss Quinn. You want to file for harassment?" "Not today," I said calmly. Arms crossed. "But if she steps on my land again, we'll talk." Lydia's face went the color of spoiled milk. She spun on her heels and stormed off, muttering about people like her ruining neighborhoods. I thought that was the end of it. I was wrong. The next morning brought a thicker, far more sinister envelope. Legal letterhead. Baxter. Griggs and Associates, the same firm whose billboards scream "We fight for your home." Apparently they now fought for Lydia's ego. Inside was a petition to the county claiming a clerical error in the original subdivision maps. They wanted to redraw the boundary to swallow my entire lot retroactively. The revised plat map, conveniently attached, had my workshop and half my backyard colored in as Harmony Grove property. No public hearing. No notice. Just quiet little paperwork meant to slide through while everyone was busy. They even claimed I'd been illegally using shared infrastructure and that my presence was detrimental to community standards. Translation: they'd been whispering that I was the neighborhood hoarder. That my workshop was full of junk. That single women who work from home are unstable influences. The rumors had already started circulating in their private Facebook group. I sat at my kitchen table, coffee going cold, and smiled for the first time in days. Not because I was amused, because I'd been waiting for them to overplay their hand. I called Marcus Delgado, an old friend from my National Guard days who now eats HOAs for breakfast as a real estate attorney. "Marcus. Got time to dismantle some suburban tyrants?" He laughed. Send coffee. I'll bring the flamethrower. By that afternoon he was at my table, flipping through their forged documents with the focus of a bomb technician. They submitted this under penalty of perjury, he said. One lie and it's fraud. Not just a boundary dispute. Look at this, they claim your driveway connects to their private roads. Yours connects to county-maintained Oak Ridge Lane. I pointed to another paragraph. And they're calling my workshop a commercial eyesore that's supposedly tanking their values. Funny. Since 3 of their board members have been badmouthing me personally in emails. Marcus grinned like a shark. We're not just fighting this. We're going nuclear. While Marcus prepared the cease and desist, I did what I do best, stay quiet and observed. I installed trail cameras. I pulled every original deed, survey, and county record. And I started noticing the little things, landscapers suddenly accidentally dumping mulch piles right against my back fence, blocking my gate. When I confronted the crew, the foreman shrugged. HOA directive. Trails being converted to a greenway. No private access. That's my gate. On my land. Talk to the HOA. Lady. We just follow orders. I marched straight to their clubhouse, the one that looked more like a country club than a neighborhood office. Lydia was behind the glass desk, sipping cucumber water like she was royalty. You're trespassing, she said without looking up. No. You're trespassing on my rights, I replied evenly. Ordering work on land that isn't yours. And spreading rumors about me being a hoarder. Classy. She finally met my eyes. Smile perfectly practiced. We're simply protecting property values. Dear. Uniformity matters. If everyone did whatever they wanted, where would we be? Free? I suggested. Her smile faltered for half a second. You'll want to speak with our attorneys. I already did. And you're in deeper than you realize. That night I reviewed the camera footage. 2 board members, Lydia's loyal lapdogs, had been caught on tape painting survey marks on my side of the fence and measuring my workshop like they already owned it. I sent everything to Marcus. The noose was tightening. Then came the leak that cracked everything open. An older neighbor I barely knew, Greg, retired engineer, knocked on my door one Saturday with a flash drive. Didn't get this from me, he whispered. But my wife's still on the board. She left her laptop open. The folder was gold, annexation strategy. Meeting minutes bragging about reclaiming edge properties to boost values. Emails from Lydia herself, once we control the ridgeline. No more eyesores or DIY weirdos. Uniformity or nothing. And the kicker, a spreadsheet projecting post-annexation revenue from new fines they plan to slap on me and anyone else who resisted. They weren't just after my land. They wanted to erase anyone who didn't fit their step-forward vision. Marcus and I took everything to the county recorder's office and filed a formal fraud complaint. 3 days later, the fake plat map was flagged. A public hearing was scheduled. But we didn't stop there. Marcus handed the forged documents, camera footage, and leaked emails to the district attorney. An investigator was assigned. The dominoes started falling fast. At the hearing, the clubhouse was packed. Residents sat in neat rows, still believing the fairy tale that Lydia was protecting them. She stood at the podium in full Karen regalia, blazer, pearls, confident smirk, ready to deliver her Oscar-worthy performance. Neighbors. This is about preserving the character of Harmony Grove, she cooed. We cannot allow unauthorized structures to devalue all our investments. Ms. Quinn has been uncooperative from the start. I stood up calmly, holding a thick binder. Before you keep talking, Lydia, You might want to see this. I projected the leaked emails on the screen behind her. The room went dead silent as her own words appeared in 48-point font. If we can get this passed, we control the ridgeline. No more eyesore sheds or DIY projects. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Her face drained of color. That's taken out of context. I kept going. Voice steady. And these survey marks your board members painted on my land? Caught on camera. The forged plat map you submitted under perjury? The county's already investigating. Oh, and the $68,000 in HOA funds funneled to your nephew's landscaping company with no bids? That's on the spreadsheet too. Lydia's mask shattered. Her voice cracked into a screech. You have no right. This is harassment. I'm protecting this community from people like you. People like me? I asked, tilting my head. Single women who dare to work from home instead of hiring your nephew? Or just anyone who won't bow to your clipboard? The room erupted. Residents who'd been silent for years suddenly found their voices. One mom stood up. You fined me $150 for having my kid's bike in the driveway for 2 hours. Another guy, you threatened to lean my house over Christmas lights. Lydia looked around, realizing the mob she'd ruled for 6 years was turning on her. Her hands shook. For the first time, she looked small. That's when the sheriff's deputies walked in with a warrant. They seized hard drives, boxes of files, and, most satisfyingly, escorted a sputtering, red-faced Lydia out in handcuffs while residents filmed on their phones. Her pearls caught the sunlight as she kept repeating, "This is a misunderstanding. I was only enforcing the rules." The next HOA meeting was held in the parking lot because the clubhouse was now a crime scene. I didn't gloat. I just laid out the facts. The forged maps. The financial fraud. The smear campaign they'd run against me personally. By the time I finished, half the board had already resigned. The rest followed within days. The county killed the annexation attempt permanently. The DA charged Lydia and 2 board members with falsifying public records, attempted real estate fraud, and misuse of funds. Federal postal inspectors got involved too. Turns out sending fake legal threats through the mail is a felony. Within a month, the community voted to suspend all fines, fire the management company, and rewrite the covenants. No more discretionary power for the board. Any fine over $50 now needed a full vote. Lydia took a plea deal, 18 months. Restitution. And a lifetime ban from any HOA or civic board. The last I heard, she was selling her house and moving to a condo where, rumor has it, the rules are even stricter. Irony is a beautiful thing. My workshop is still standing. I painted it a deep forest green, not to hide it, but because I like the color. Neighbors now wave when they walk by. Some have started calling it the resistance shed. I don't mind. One quiet evening, Greg dropped off a 6-pack and a handwritten note signed by 20 families. "Thank you for reminding us that owning your home actually means something." I pinned it above my workbench, right next to the framed copy of Lydia's forged plat map. Not as a trophy, as a reminder. It only takes one person to say not today to stop a bulldozer wearing pearls. So here's the question I want you to answer honestly in the comments: when the HOA comes for your shed, your flag, your boat in the driveway, or your right to live on your own land, who's really in the wrong? The neighbor who says enough, or the smiling bureaucrats who think their rules trump your deed? Drop your thoughts below. And if you've got your own HOA horror story, I'm listening.